Good afternoon, students. Yesterday we were seeing about the second unit about the planning, types of planning, nature of planning, purpose of planning, and all. And as I told yesterday, that we'll be seeing in today's class about the types of plans. So that is actually relating, related to our subject, types of planning into standing and single-use plans. So in just we will be studying this type of plan. That is, under this topic, you will be studying like about policies, procedures, rules, then about budgets. We'll be talking about everything you will be seeing in the types of plans here. So we'll see one by one what are all the various types of plans related to standing and single-use plans. So this is just an introduction. So a plan is a commitment to a particular course of action for achieving specific results. Already we have seen in planning itself, but just I'm giving an introduction here. It is a commitment to a particular course of action for achieving specific results. So if you want to achieve some very good results, there should be some commitments towards some course of action, towards some particular course of action. So from this, it follows that there are a number of plans for achieving different goals. Managers normally commit the mistake of taking major programs only as plans. So they take lots of decisions, managers, and they'll be doing lots of mistakes. From that mistakes, and again they'll be planning, and they'll be trying to coming out from that hurdles whatever they are facing. So here, as I told the beginning stage itself, some of the plants are in the form of standing plants, while others are in single-use plants. So in the single-use plants are used only once and not over and over again. So whereas standing plans, that is repeat use plans, are used again and again. For example, objectives, policies, strategies, rules, procedures, and all will be coming under standing plans because once formulated, they will be used for a long period and also it will be used repeatedly. But on the other hand, uh, programs and budgets or single use plans. So normally if you see every year there will be budgets you can see financial budget will be presented every year. So that and all it is a very good example for single use plans uh, because once these are achieved, these are to be formulated again every year. They'll be planning what is it we can do, how can we reduce the cost, everything they'll be planning in single use plans. And this is the hierarchy. What we'll be seeing here is first one is the purpose or mission according to hierarchy from top we'll see hierarchy, objectives, so policies, strategies, rules, procedures, programs, and budgets. Like this only we will be seeing this topic according to this hierarchy. Starting from the top, we will see purpose standing plans. That is, types of plans is actually uh, the standing plans. Talking about the procedures, so we'll see what is first of all standing plans. Standing plans are made to be used time and again. These plans are formulated to guide managerial decisions and actions on problems which are recurring in nature. So it is also called as repeated use plans because these provide guidelines for actions to be taken in future. So it only it is called as standing plans. These plans also provide ready guidelines for tackling situations of recurring nature. These plans not only help in coordination but in effective management also. So it includes already we have seen in the hierarchy objectives, policies, procedures, methods, rules, and strategies. That is what we'll be seeing in the coming slide about this particular points. So these plans are made for handling non-recurring problems. Single-use plans are also referred as specific plans because they'll be talking only about some particular issues, specific issues, and these plans are formulated to handle which is not repetitive and unique problem. Only for that problem they will be handling this particular plan. So it will not be used again and again. Once the problem is sorted out, they will be closing it off. So the best examples for this single-use plans are budgets, programs, and the projects. So the mission or purpose of identifying, these are all some points which we can include about the 1 minute, talking about the uh, benefits single use, is talking about the single use plans. So purpose, sorry, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, correct. So purpose or mission. The mission or purpose identifies the a basic function or task of an enterprise. So this is the main thing for what is the main duty of the what is the main goal of the organization. First of all, they should fix. That is what every company is. When I was taking class itself yesterday, wherever if you go to our institute, in each and every floor there will be at least a statement, two statements, both vision and mission. So it is for where they are talking about what is the reason for setting up this institute. So it will be there clearly in that vision and mission statement. Please go and check. Every organization has or should have a purpose so that its working becomes meaningful. So for what reason you're working, it should be meaningful. The purpose or mission is assigned to every organization by the society. So this also you should clearly know about it. The purpose is a standing plan in a business organization which defines its basic purpose. So what is its basic purpose? You should define. And according to that only the purpose will be, that is mission will be working out clearly. So it is for a long-term vision of what it seeks. So I told in the beginning itself, it should be an vision and mission statements. So the organization mission indicates exactly what activities the organization intends to engage in now and in future also. So that is what here we'll be talking about. So here, what is it really? And the basic questions to be answered by an organization or so these are all things you should know. What business we are in and what will our business be, who are our customers, then what are our values and beliefs, and what will be our utility to the society and so on. So when you're setting up an organization, these are all the questions you should be arising. So what business we are going to enter and what all our business will be and who are all our customers and what are all the values, ethics and beliefs we should follow and what will be our utility to the society and so on. We should talk about our before the organization setup. So this is actually talking about objectives. Objective, this is the first standing plan we'll be talking about. First type of standing plan, objectives. Objectives or goals. Objectives or goals are the end towards which every activity is aimed. They are the results to be achieved. So whenever not, please understand you every individual will be having an objective. What I should be after 2 years or 3 years. That is what for every organization also it is fixed. So here objectives are also prerequisite for planning. No planning is possible without setting up of any objective. So if the plan, if it want to be successful, first of all we should have very good objective. Without objective, if you are fixing any plan, it will not be working out properly. So while enterprise objective also are the basic plan of the firm, and also you can prepare a department also have its own objectives. Even if you go for any departments, even in our institutes, every department is having its own vision and mission statements. Finally, but even though if you are talking about departmental objectives, but it will be contributing to the attainment of the final thing is it will be contributing for enterprise objectives only. And the next one is about policies. Policies here are the general statements or understanding which provide guidance in decision making. To various, just they will be fixing the policies. There will be some statements to be followed in the organization, and with that guidance only, the decision making will be taken by the managers. So these are standing plans where it will be giving guidance to management in the conduct of managerial operations. It also define boundaries. Sorry, it also define boundaries within which decisions can be made, and the decisions are directed towards the achievement of objectives. Two things we are clearly identifying here. So decision will be taken by based on the limits. So there are some limits where you cannot cross that limits, and you also the decisions will be are directed towards the achievement of objectives. Two things we are studying here. One is within the boundaries, we should policy should be defined within the boundaries, and also the decisions should be taken on according to the achievement of our objectives. So here, management will be delegating authorities within the given parameters and can still retain control over the subordinates. So this is what actually very much effective in the plans actually, where when they are delegating, the work will be going on very smoothly, but they'll be having a close monitoring also. So this is what actually very big advantages of policies is. So according to Coons and Weirich, policy is a means of encouraging discretion and initiative, but within limits. So everything is there according to Mr. Coons and Weirich. Policy is a means of encouraging discretion, and also main thing is initiative, but everything will be according to policies within limits. And next comes here strategy. The strategy here is talking about mostly what are all the plans you are going to. Here I have given the word military action plans. It was used to state the grand plans made in the light of what it is believed and adversely might or might not do. So managers now use strategies in the broader areas of business operations. So where people will be talking about what are all the decisions or what are all the methods. Sorry, the strategies means methods. In what are all the methods they are going to achieve the target or achieve the uh, objectives of the organization. So they do not. The strategies do not attempt to outline the programs for achieving objectives, but they furnish a framework for guiding thinking and action. So they'll be doing these things and all. So please identify if you're not able to understand the slides here. The strategy is that the method which you're going to take for achieving your objectives. That is what is actually called as strategy. Simply the ways. What are all the ways you're going to choose for uh, having a very good uh, objectives that is to be implemented in the organization. And next comes here about procedures. So the procedures or when you're talking about methods, next comes here is procedures. Procedures or details of action or the guidelines for the achievement of business objectives. So it will be what you should do and what you should not do. That is what here procedures is. Uh, So again, if I'm telling in deep, in depth means you will be taking then what is rules you will ask. So that also will be saying in the coming slides. So this will be helping in the implementation of policies actually. Whenever you're talking about policies, with the help of procedures only, you can implement the policy. According to Mr. Terry, a procedure is a series of related tasks that make up the chronological sequence and the established way of performing the work to be accomplished that you should be able to understand actually in what method you're going to achieve, or what method or what procedures you're going to follow to accomplish your objectives. That is what chronological sequence. So which one should be coming first and which one should be coming second. Like that, even in setting up a department, so you should tell you should design accordingly which department should be falling in the first area, second area, third area. So you should not have very big confusion. There should be procedures and it should be displayed also in the entrance of the department. What is it really they are working? So what are all the procedures they follow? So one more main thing is we should distinguish the difference between policies. A procedure is a guide to action, whereas policy is a guide of thinking. Please understand. So here I told that if you want to implement the policies, procedures should policies only thinking. But after thinking, if you want to implement, procedure is a guide actually to implement the policy. And here talking about the main thing here, a rules. So the rules is a plan that lays down a required course of action with regard to a situation. So if there is some issues in the organization, there will be some rules to be implemented to take action. If not, what is the other method? These two things they will be giving out in the rule. A rule is in the nature of a decision made by management regarding what is to be done and what is not to be done in a particular situation. So this thing, it should be the rules they will be giving do's and don'ts, simple in one word. So a rule and also it is definite, it will be defining and also rigid and allows no deviation or discretion to the subordinates. So policies and all we can sometimes alter, but rules and all without getting a permission from the governments or any higher authority in the organization related to the situation, you cannot alter it. So it is definite and rigid. So like procedures, rules do not prescribe a chronological sequence and all. So here procedures and all, step by step they will do it, but here rule is not like that. So they'll be having their own method according to the situation depending upon. A rule may or may not be the part of the procedure. Say for example, a rule will be like this in all the factories, no smoking in the factory. On the other hand, rule to make payment within 21 days will be the part of the procedure. So these are all procedure as very big example we have given here. So a rule will be there like this: no smoking in the factory, but that it will not be in the part of the procedure. And what it will be in the procedure is uh, a rule to make payment within 21 days. That is actually procedure, but it is not a rule. So please understand this particular points. And one more thing, programs. So a program is a sequence of activities designed to implement policies and accomplish objectives. So it is a device to meet a particular situation. It depends upon, see, procedure means it will be depending for, it will be describing for an entire organization. But programs is, it will be varying according to each and every department. So program may be taken as a combination of policies, procedures, rules, budgets, task assignments, etc. Developed for the specific purpose for carrying out a particular course of action. So program is it will be it will be combination of all these activities like what we have talked about, except mission and vision. That is other things and all will be policies, procedures, rules, budgets, then task assignments, etc. And separate programs are also prepared for accomplishing different tasks. So it is not like only that one thing will be coming, but it will be also for separate tasks also. The same program may not be used for achieving other goals also, because it is a single use plan laid down for new and non-repetitive activities. So please understand programs and budgets and all. I think please recollect it is actually coming under the topic single use plans. But previous to these slides and all, rules and all, it will be coming in standing plans. And this from this particular topic, we'll be talking about single use plans. In the words of Coons and O'Donnell, programs are complexes of goals, policies, procedures, rules. That is what here we have talked about. He has also told the same thing. And that is steps to be taken, resources to be employed, and other elements necessary to carry out a given course of action. Everything. So programs are like that only. And George Terry also told like that it is a comprehensive plan that includes future use of different resources in an integrated pattern and establishes a sequence of required actions. And main thing is timely schedules for each in order to achieve the standard objectives. So that also program will be talking about what are all the programs we are going to adopt. It will be changing every time. So as I told, it is coming under single use plans. It will be working out for 3 months, and again next for after 3 months it will be changing everything. It will be there. And next one is actually budgets. So here budgets is somewhat it will be lengthy. It is a monetary or and also quantitative expression in business plans and policies to be pursued in a future period of time. So planning your budgets for the organization. That is what it will be monetary or quantitative also. The term budget is used for preparing budgets and other procedures for planning. So if you're having a budget, you can plan. So this is the budget. So this is the thing I'm going to work on for next 6 months or 1 year. So and one more thing is budget is estimated of future needs arranged according to an orderly basis. So according to the preference, they'll be giving weightage. So which for which departments we should spend and which departments we are not supposed to spend for this particular year. And we'll be seeing about different types of budgets. So there are different types of budgets. It is based on the basis of time, on the basis of functions, and on the basis of flexibility. So on the basis of time, we'll be talking about long-term budgets, short-term budgets, current budgets. On the basis of functions, we'll be talking about master budget and subsidiary or functional budget. And on the basis of flexibility, we'll be talking about fixed budget and flexible budget. So here we'll see one by one. What is long-term budgets? The budgets are prepared to deposit a long-term plan for the business. So it will be the plan will be the budget will be prepared for between varies between 5 to 10 years. So where there will be top level management will be planning what they should do for the next 5 years or 10 years, because low level management will not be involved in this long-term budgets now. So this also I've given an example. Is budgets are useful for those industries where gestation period is long, that is machinery, electricity, engineering, and other categories. So short-term budgets. These budgets are generally for 1 or 2 years and or in the form of monetary terms. So the consumer goods like industries like sugar, cotton, textile, etc. use these short-term budgets. So because mostly FMCG goods and all depending upon the marketing scenario, they will be keeping on changing the budget. It will not be given that it will be fixed and all. So it will be keeping on changing according to the marketing scenario, what is happening in the market. According to that, they will be changing the budgets immediately. And the current budgets. So current budgets, it's generally for months and weeks. So where these budgets relate to current activities of the business. So it is a budget which is according to ICW London. Current budget is a budget which is established for use over a short period of time and is related to current conditions. So it is actually short period. The budget will be prepared for short period, but it will be related to the current scenarios. So please understand. So the current budget, it will be generally for only months and weeks, but it will not be. It will be depending only upon the current situations. Talking about functional budgets, these budgets are related to the different functions. The number of the budget depends upon the size and nature of the business. Works, according to the work area, 1 minute. According to the works, depending in the organization, the functions carried out. Functions means your work. Please understand. Functions means please don't take some other categories and all. Functions means work. Depending upon the work, the budgets will be allocated to each and every departments. So that type of budget is called as functional budget. And the commonly used functional budgets here we can see sales budget, production budget. So these are all depending upon purely based on the departments actually. Plant utilization budget, in purchase budget, cash budget, and finance budget. Finance budget it will be for entire organization. Then comes about a master budget. So here, one minute. So the master budget or various previously we have seen functional budgets. No? The functional budgets will be integrated and that it will be called as master budget for the entire organization. So this budget is prepared by the ultimate integration of separate functional budgets. So it will be called. So please give your budgets from each and every department. They'll be asking, and finally it will be integrated. And from that functional budget, it will be prepared as a master budget. And one more thing, according to ICW, again, the master budget is the summary budget incorporating its functional budget. So they'll be calling each and every department and finalizing the master budget for the company. So mostly the master budget is prepared by the budget office and it remains with the top level management only. And here talking about fixed budget. So here the fixed budgets are prepared for a given level of activity. The budget will be prepared before the beginning of the financial year. If the financial year, say for example, it starts in January, then the budget will be prepared a month or two earlier, that is, for example, in November or December itself. The changes in expenditure arising out of the anticipated changes will not be adjusted in the budget. So there will be a difference of about 12 months in the budget, and according to that, the budget will be fixed. So there will be a very big difference about what is it they are fixing for 12 months in the budgeted and actual figures. So they'll not be changing it. So it will be fixed. What is what is it they have planned for the last year, they will not be changing it again here. And next one is actually flexible budget. A flexible budget consists of a series of budgets for different levels of activity. It is a flexible budget is prepared after taking into consideration according to the various changes in the conditions of the business. It will be useful where the level of activity changes from time to time. So even though we are planning, sometimes it will be changing accordingly because of day-to-day activities. And when the forecasting is when the forecasting of demand is uncertain and the undertaking operates under conditions of shortage of material, labor, etc. So, in this situation, then the budget will be more suited. So, at the present scenario, there is very big shortage of labor and shortage of materials because you people itself can understand because of this COVID-19. So here, the budget will be either it will be a shortfall or it will be budget will be going high. So because of this, the budget will be adjusted. So one more thing, actually, here you will be studying about in plans is again you will be studying in control techniques also. In modern techniques, you will be studying about control techniques, that is in fifth unit, zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is that where you will be starting the year with zero. That is, you will not be having any money or anything in your hand. You will be starting the budget with nil account. So, but the budget we are preparing now is actually we are having lots of data. So this is our production, and according to this production, you will be planning for future. But zero-based budgeting is nothing. You are empty-handed. From that empty-handed, you will be developing a budget in detail. This zero-based budgeting you will be studying in detail in the uh, fifth unit in controlling techniques. So with this, I conclude the session. That is actually, please understand, if anything is left over in the second unit, in a coming Google Meet class or Zoom class, you can please remind me. But according to me, I think that we have concluded the second unit also. So please check the syllabus. I'm also checking it regularly. If any student is coming across that I have left over any topic, please let me know or message me or text me to my number. Thank you, students, for having a very good patience to listen to this lecture. Thank you.